This community, University Heights, Morris Heights area, there's great sorrow, there's great pain. Virtually no intact families are here.
There are a lot of single mothers, so a lot of people on public assistance, a lot of crime, and we've had some killings.
We've tried to be a light in the neighborhood, and our goal has been to minister to whoever's here.
It was becoming increasingly difficult for us to meet, so we began looking for other places to meet. We wrote a letter to the school asking them if we could meet. That began the lawsuit. What is unique about our ministry is that most of us, at least the core leadership and a lot of our members, live within this community.
Our goal has been to impact our neighbors in not only with the gospel, but the consequences of the gospel in their lives.
It's our desire to be a covenanting together, caring, sharing community of believers. And we've had more than one person say about our church, it's more like a family.
Pastor Bob, he lives right down the street from me. And there has been times where, personal issues have arisen, and it could be late at night, and whatever time it is, to just be there with Pastor Jack. His door is always open. There's children from the block, from the neighborhood, that go in and out of his yard. They just cross through.
The backyard is where everything went down. Played a lot of basketball, we did a lot of recreational stuff there. So, that was like my go-to place growing up.
Pastor Jack and Pastor Bob are the best. They're like father figures to me. They'll love you, they'll discipline you.
We've tried to be a light in the neighborhood, and our goal has been to minister to whoever's here.
I grew up and was born and raised here in the Bronx. Bronx is a crime-ridden borough. There was a lot of restless kids, and it just felt like a place where there was nothing that could happen.
In this neighborhood, there's not a lot of male figures. I tell my coaches that you will probably be a father figure to this kid for 12 to 15 weeks. We once said to them, ask how many kids know how to tie a tie in your huddle. And I think one kid, we had about 60, 70 kids, one or two kids knew. So then the next weekend we brought ties and we taught everybody to tie.
I was a senior in college and had my son, and I was going through a tough time with his dad. He had a child with someone else, and I was losing myself in all of that. And so that's when I reached out to my friend, which brought me to the Bronx Household of Faith.
It was coming in the next week, and the next week after that, and then the next week after that, and finding that the sense of community that was built, the sense of like this leadership that it came from the pastors, and I feel more connected because I'm here.
Bronx Household of Faith has been a pivotal area in my life as far as biblical instruction and to grow as a man, from a boy to a man, and it was very integral in my process.
The case involves a policy at in the New York City Public Schools that they will rent to anybody who wants to use the buildings for any purpose pertaining to the welfare of the community. But it specifically excludes religious worship services or otherwise using the facilities as a house of worship.
There are over 10,000 applications that go in every single year for nonprofit organizations. The only group that has been targeted, the only group that has been marked to be eradicated from public school has been these churches.
New York City seems to have this kind of extreme view of separation of church and state, that religion is hazardous waste, it's something dangerous, it's like asbestos in the ceiling tiles, and we got to eliminate it, and definitely can't allow anybody in the public be around it because that would be disastrous.
The fact that a church meets in a school does not mean that the school has become the church building. It's simply a meeting place. We have a legitimate right to be there.
It'd be simply wrong to exclude us from the public school when any other group can meet there.
You know, a lot of people don't understand how important it is to have these churches to be able to function out of public schools. They're providing free services, whether it's celebrate recovery groups, whether it's working with young people, after-school program, educational program, senior program. We're talking about in the millions upon millions of dollars worth of tangible outreach events and activities that they are providing to the community.
In our church, we eliminated homicides in the Bronx River housing projects for over 6 years. We sent a group to the Polar Grounds, eliminated homicides there for 3 years. We go in, we do home makeovers for the poor.
By using this facility, it has enabled us to be attainable and reachable to the community in various places where the need is great, and so it gives us a unique access into the community.
A lot of my fellow worshipers and members of this church, a lot of them have newly immigrated to this country. This place is more than a church for them. It's more of a support network. It's more of a haven for them.
If the New York City government tried to duplicate the social services done by these eager Christian volunteers that are in these churches, their taxes would be sky high. In fact, I don't even know if they could accumulate enough money to pay people to do as effectively what these church members are doing.
Everybody loses. So our church loses. We lose worship space. We lose the convenience of worshiping in a neighborhood, in a facility that's empty on Sunday mornings. But the schools also lose because they lose an army of volunteers. The people in our congregation serve the school in many ways, including even tutoring children in preparation for their exams.
The community absolutely loves us because we are wrapping their arms around them and saying that we care about them and showing them the love of Jesus Christ. They appreciate us being here. They want us to be here.
And that's another irony in all of this. They'd love to let us in. The man that turned us down would love to let us in, and he's happy that we've won thus far. If we lose this case, it will be one of the great judicial ironies in our nation's history.
Let's face it, our founding fathers over 200 years ago came to this nation because they were being oppressed by the political system in England, and because why? They wanted religious freedom. And we feel that that's being violated and challenged right now in America. And we, the church, God is putting us in a unique position right now to stand up, to step up and speak the truth to those powers to be, but speak the truth in love.
If we have to cower in the face of opposition from governmental officials, we will never be able to stand if that is our attitude.
The Bronx Household of Faith case has galvanized churches to come and work together like we had never seen before. We have seen unity.
We're going to have better times and we're going to have worse times, but we really need to be in for the long haul to battle for religious liberties.